Welcome to K11 Konversations, a multi-platform dialogue series where we can discuss the intersection between creativity, culture, and innovation. And in line with K11's social mission to incubate talent, propagate culture, and push the new frontier of art. In this session, we have invited Greg Tran from Trace, as well as Felix Kim from DeepBrain, to discuss the future of digital humans and experiences. So welcome, everyone.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So to kick us off, how about we just do a little bit of a self-introduction? So just a bit of a teaser as to what you guys do. So how about Greg, you kick us off?
Okay, awesome. So my name is Greg Tran. I'm CEO of Trace 3D, and we do augmented reality recordings that are tied to real world spaces. And just a little bit of background on me, I've worked in augmented reality for over 12 years, working in design and user experience. And prior to that, I was an architect and went to school for architecture, went to architecture school for 7 years. And so it's great to be working with K11 and see the incredible sort of architects and artists that are part of that program as well.
Awesome, awesome. And how about you, Felix?
Hello, everyone. My name is Felix, a senior business developer at DeepBrain AI. And what we do here is we create a digital twin utilizing deep learning and video synthesis technology. And we try to humanize digital customer engagement. I'm very happy to work together with you guys.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, we're very excited to have this conversation today. So we wanted to actually kind of go a little bit deeper and to try to understand a little bit more about the company and how you guys came up with these really amazing solutions. So how about Trace, how about you can start us off to kind of tell us a little bit more about your company and how you came about your solution.
Sure. So Trace is, we think of it as the simplest way ever to make AR recordings and content, basically holograms that are tied to real world locations, and they can be set up on a single phone for spatial tours, training, interactive marketing, and events. And for new world development, we're working with K11 MUSEA and expanding their tours and exhibitions with immersive digital experiences. And I'll just share a really quick demo of what that looks like. And so what you're seeing here is basically a hologram of me that I captured in just a couple minutes on my phone. And as you can see, it's three-dimensional. Other people could see it on their phone or on an AR headset. And all of this content is augmented reality content. And basically what we're allowing is guides and exhibitions through their space. And we're also building out immersive digital installations. This is for the sort of K11 atrium, and we're excited to be building more content out just like this. And so we really think of Trace as the simplest way ever to create AR experiences for your business. And as mentioned, we're doing guides and exhibitions that can help save time and money on touring staff, drive digital engagement, and get expert sort of information from the artists and curators, and then large scale installations that can be set up really quickly and be immersive and tied to real world spaces.
Thanks for showing us that presentation. I think it's really, really exciting to see how these technologies on our phone can be used for such AR purposes. And now kind of transitioning over to DeepBrain, I'll pass it over to Felix to introduce a little bit more about your story as well.
Thanks. So DeepBrain AI, we started as a chatbot service provider before. So we used to help utilize AI technology to engage with the customers. But what we realized out of this technology is what's more important thing would be facing customer or engaging customer in a more human way. And that's why we come up with the video synthesis technology. And eventually we create AI human or digital twin based on real people's data and utilizing for customer engagement. Real people's data and their appearance, voice, accents, and behavioral gestures. And we synthesize the video of that person and that express the same appearance, voice, and on and on. So when you are looking at it, when you are talking to it, you can't really tell if it's a real person or not. So what we try to do and what we did with K11 MUSEA we implement this AI human technology into a kiosk with a 65 inches, and once you approach to a kiosk, you can speak to it in real time. So I'm really excited about going further with this technology with K11 MUSEA.
So obviously, for both of your startups, you guys are just coming out of the gate, and trying a lot of different things to see what fits into the market. So everyone kind of has a different definition of success and what that means for themselves and their company. So to dive more into the startup mentality, I wanted to kick it off by asking Greg, how do you define success for your startup?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really interesting question. We're obviously working in a frontier technology in augmented reality. It's something that not everyone has a lot of exposure to, but we think it's really exciting. And there's so much talk about the metaverse and Web3 and the next version of the internet. And basically, we want to be trailblazers in the space. We want to enable people to create content, to build 3D scenes and recordings that can start to build what that next version of the internet is. And so we try to balance those long-term goals also with the sort of the short-term goals of bringing real value to customers now, to be giving tours, to be able to use sort of existing devices. And so I think the measure of success for us is both having those big visions and sort of seeing how we can scale and get to that ultimate goal, but also focusing on the present, making sure that we're bringing tangible value right now to customers like at K11 MUSEA. And it's just so much fun to work on this new tech. And so that's where we're excited about it and excited to bring those experiences to customers.
Awesome. How about you, Felix? How do you guys define success over there at DeepBrain?
So I would like to make two different definitions of success. The first one will be the technical success, and the second one is the real success we're looking for. So technically, what we try to accomplish right now is we want to create more realistic human avatar that you can't really tell the difference. Right now, we are pretty much successful in generating a video format of AI human that express the same way, but we're a little bit behind in emotion and a few expression, but we're getting closer to that. We definitely learned a lot through the project of K11 MUSEA, and we're very looking forward to providing you even more advanced technology. But eventually, what we try to accomplish for success is we want to help customers and enterprises for their communication. So we try to put a bridge in between the two different sides. So whenever you need to communicate with one to the other, we would like to help you with this uncovered area with our AI human technology.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds like very, very exciting technology. And I can't wait until it's become just like a part of normal life. So for both of you guys are part of the GBA Accelerator, which I'm very thankful that you guys are about. So as a startup, you guys are obviously very small, very nimble, moving quite fast. So how do you view your collaborations with corporates, and do you have any type of guidance or advice that you would give to other startups as to how to best work with corporates? Maybe Felix, you can start us off.
Right. So I was very excited about being a part of this program, and what makes this a journey more even exciting was we're actually dealing with the real cases and not just talking about how you can enter the market. So we're not just dealing with the knowledge, but also we're dealing with an actual case, and you can improve your insight and as well as your technical sides as well. So we've been focusing more on North American market and the other part of the market because Asian market has kind of high requirements in many different areas, languages and cultural background as well. So it's been a bit of challenging, but through a GBA program and with the K11 cases, we were able to understand the market as well. What would be the requirements coming from our customer? So it helped us improve our technology and insight to the market eventually. So it's been very great for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think that everything that Felix is saying is true, and sort of being a gateway to Asia and all of that stuff is really exciting for us. I think for, we have these big visions. I think working with corporate like K11, our attitude, and I think something that we're trying to focus on is to just be a sponge and basically absorb and listen and learn from everything, all of the customers and the business units, that's really our best way of adapting and then learning. And so we're trying to be really flexible with both our technology, our user experience, and our business model to adapt and pivot and basically refine all of those things that so that they can become prototypes, so that they can be blueprints for the next engagements with New World or with other companies. And I think that's really just been a great aspect of this program. And so I think that's part of being a startup, is just always being able to adapt and always learning from sort of these bigger companies that can bring that knowledge and expertise and sort of shepherd you along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're very thankful that you decided to work with us as a test bed for your technologies here. So for a startup like yourselves, you guys are obviously being courted by many different type of programs that could help you accelerate, can help you expand. So can you tell us a little bit more as to why you decided to join this specific GBA Accelerator Program? Maybe I'll give it off to Greg first.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I think that it goes into some of the things I was talking about. I think that there's just an unrivaled property ecosystem. I mean, one of the things with augmented reality is that basically the physical spaces, the buildings, the art, the exhibitions, those are all basically the canvas that augmented reality plays off of, right? And so we add digital experiences to what's already there. And so New World already has these incredible spaces that are built by world famous architects and have this investment in artists and so forth. So that gives us a really great space to play off of and add interesting digital content and have sort of insights that are tied to those that are really engaging and new. And I think the other thing that is sort of stands out is just the investment in art and culture and just being at the avant-garde of tech, and sort of seeing that, I think, is something that's really valuable for a startup, because, you know, we're a frontier technology, and we need basically these prototypical spaces to deploy and test out and have willing customers to try things out. And I think that that benefits both us and it benefits the New World ecosystem, because it also future-proofs everyone, so that as this technology becomes more and more prevalent, you know, we're all going to benefit.
Awesome. Well, yeah, totally agree with everything that Greg said, and also to add a bit more. I mean, the GBA area is a great channel, and I consider GBA area as a hub between the world and Asia. So it's been really grateful for us to understand the market through this program. And because before we've been, as I mentioned before, we've been focusing more on other side of the world. But if you try to enter Asian market, probably you will come across with a few cultural differences and language barrier. But Hong Kong and GBA is a great area for us to understand the language barrier and also cultural differences. But after this process, we were able to understand what the customer or the market is actually looking for. So it's been really great to work together with Kevin here and also K11 Museum.
Awesome. I think you definitely hit on something in the sense that, you know, GBA is definitely going to be the future, essentially here in Asia. So I think we're very, very excited about that, and we're very excited to kind of bring your frontier technologies here to Asia. So I think now kind of shifting the lens into more of a looking into the future. Obviously your AR and digital humans are not part of our lives day to day yet. Hopefully one day soon. So how do you envision that, you know, in the 3 to 5 years time, how do you envision regular customers to be engaging with, you know, AR or avatar technology such as yourselves? Maybe Greg can start us off there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that obviously what we want and what we sort of imagine, the reason that we're investing so heavily in this is that we think it's going to be a space that's going to become more normalized, that's going to become more part of everyone's everyday lives. And when you look at these sort of massive companies like Meta and Apple and people in that area, they're investing tens of billions of dollars into hardware to sort of bring these realities to life. And so they really see that as the next generation of the successor to the phone. And I think, you know, we're seeing that with VR headsets. We're going to see that with AR headsets. And so we're bringing tools to that. And I think that it will start to become normalized to people. And that always starts with enterprise use cases. It starts with big companies like New World. And then I think it'll come down to be more consumer centric. People are going to be experiencing these things in their homes. And, you know, just like you're taking photos and videos in 2D, pretty soon you'll be making 3D captures and engaging with 3D technology as well. And so that's where we think it's headed. And we're trying to sort of build some of the building blocks to get there.
How about on the DeepBrain side? What do you guys think about in the next 3 to 5 years?
Right, so DeepBrain AI creates digital twin or AI human utilizing deep learning and video synthesis technology. So the digital twin that we create is not really computer graphic based digital human that we used to have before, but we're talking about the more realistic and lifelike avatar human. So you can't tell the difference between the real one and the digital twin that we create. So what we try to do is we try to put a bridge between enterprises and customers. So whenever we are looking for some services, we want to talk to the company, and you can do that with AI human we create. For example, when you go to a hospital, you want to talk to doctor, but unfortunately they can't be there 24 hours. But customers are always looking for, you know, communication with the doctor when they need to. So there we try to, you know, help them with the communication. So when doctors and nurses are not available, AI human can help you deliver information to you, or when it goes beyond their capability, they can help you also arrange a meeting as well. So like this, so this is already happening, but even in 5 years, you will see more often this type of digital twin where they try to help us with the communication, and not only here in retail, also healthcare industry, but anywhere it requires engagement and communication.
So, you know, from just hearing what both of you guys are saying, I think is in the future, we can anticipate that these technologies are going to be a bit more ubiquitous. Everyone, it's going to be more of like an everyday technology. So for technologies like these, and I think, you know, Greg kind of touched on it in terms of, you know, Meta and Apple, they're known for creating very premium products and very, you know, experiences that be like, oh, wow, this is what technology can do. So what do you guys think is needed in order to provide that wow experience to consumers so that they really believe the magic and not just think it's just gimmicky, you know? What do you think about that, Felix?
Oh, yeah. So the moment that our customers feel wow is the moment actually when they realize that the person they've been talking to, the person they've been looking at is actually not a real person, but artificial human created by video synthesis technology. That means the digital twins, they are so real that you can't tell the difference, right? And what we try to do even better is we try to learn from the actual person, their appearance, voice, accent, and everything, and all the behavioral gestures, and we let our digital human express the same way. So I think that's been the biggest wow factor that out of our technology.
Yeah, I mean, I can build on that as well, because I think that there's a lot of overlap there, right? Because with augmented reality, what we're talking about is something, you know, you see the demo of the dragon flying through the space, or, you know, someone giving you a tour. All of that stuff becomes more real. It becomes more tangible if you feel like it's right there and you can reach out and touch it, right? And that's obviously has a sort of inherent wow factor. I think that is made more powerful when you're looking through an AR headset, or it's more immersive as well, and when it's more reliable. And so I think all of those core technologies are building there, right? And the form factor is going to get there. I think that inherently there's sort of a wow factor to AR. And so I think in order to convince people that this is valuable, I think there's that sort of first shock value that's really exciting. But I think the more important thing is, how are we providing value day to day in ways that are bringing timely information, that enhance marketing and experiences, that basically reduce time and cost for installations. I think there's the wow factor on the sort of consumer side, which I think comes with the technology. I think the more important part for some of these technologies is how do you bring the wow factor for the business side so that they say, okay, we want to integrate this into our daily installations. We want to expand on how this becomes a bigger part of our business. And I think that when those two things come into alignment, then you'll start to see the technology becoming more ubiquitous and really adopted very widely.
Awesome. Yeah, I think for the new technologies that are being adopted, I think we're very looking forward towards that. And in the last couple of months, obviously, we've heard a lot of these like new terms such as like metaverse, Web3, crypto. So looking at kind of new technologies that are up and coming, what technologies are you really excited that would be total game changers for your specific company or for your specific industry? How about you? You can go first, Greg.
Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, I think that obviously there's always a lot of answers to that. I think that when it comes to some of these frontier technologies, it's multifaceted. And if you look at the evolution of the internet or 2D media, there's a few different factors, one of which is hardware, right? And that's going to continue to be coming out. One is infrastructure, and then one is content and content creation, right? And so Meta, Apple, these big companies are going to be bringing the next version of the hardware, and that's only going to continue its march forward and become more immersive and powerful. And so I feel confident that that's going to be there. I think in terms of infrastructure, computer vision, sort of occlusion, a lot of the sort of underlying technologies that make this stuff feel anchored in the real world, those are advancing, and we're working on some of those. Then the last one, in terms of Bill Gates famously said content is king about the 2D version of the internet. That's what we're trying to enable for the 3D version of the internet, which is to enable people to create content, to add content to spaces really easily. And so I see those three as being sort of the core technologies that bring this to life. And hopefully we can contribute to some of those things coming to fruition.
So as Greg said, the infrastructure will be very helpful for us as well. But eventually, for our technology and in our industry, a few different things will be NLP, chatbot, as well as more the accuracy in expression. So the meaning that now we have a digital twin that we create utilizing our deep learning and video synthesis that look like a real person. But the more important part will be the knowledge. So even though we can deliver the message, but the message that we are delivering is out of the meaning, then the customer would feel a little bit of like emptiness in between. So we try to improve or partner with also NLP, a different technology as well. So to understand what customer actually mean and also what they're looking for. So we try to connect those NLP technology to our technology as well in order to deliver more efficient or appropriate answer to our customer. And eventually, we want to improve the emotion side as well. So now the digital twin that we create can express the same as a real person, but next step will be emotional expression as well. So because we human beings, we always have different emotions and feelings. And if the digital twin that we create can also express the same way with emotion, and that will be our next level. So we're slowly walking toward that direction. And this opportunity, K11, has been very helpful for us as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I think that was actually very helpful in terms of understanding where the future of technology is heading, and for this particular episode of K11 Konversations. So I think that about wraps it up today. So thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy days to talk to us. And to wrap it up, for more on creativity and innovation, on how it can tackle some of the key everyday issues businesses faces, be sure to turn into our next episode of K11 Konversations. Stay tuned to our social to learn more about what is coming up, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.